Gently drop any focusing techniques you might be using and allow yourself to just bask in the after effects of meditation. Just sit in the light of peace that meditation makes possible. Witness any shift in mind and body. Just allow yourself to be happy. Know yourself to be whole, connected, anchored in your soul nature. Claim this consciousness, this peace, this joy. And seek to share it with others. So expand this peace beyond yourself and embrace all people everywhere with it. Send loving kindness to every being everywhere. And let this peace expand beyond you and roll over our earth. Blessing all creatures, all the plants, rivers, mountains. See everyone and everything enveloped in this peace. As we prepare to begin our day, let us know that this is our true nature, and as we witness it more and more, we can remain in constant knowing of who and what we are. Let's seal our time of meditation and prayer by chanting Om, the sacred sound, the root of the Amen, and send a healing vibration to all points in the universe. Om. May our thoughts be aligned with Dharma. May our speech be aligned with Dharma. May our heart and our actions be aligned with Dharma. And so it is. Om, peace. Amen. As the season is beginning to change and we're wearing sweaters in the early part of the day and Maybe adding a light blanket to the bed. I don't know what's going on for you, but I'm feeling quite cozy in the morning, and it's a little bit more difficult to get out of the bed. Are you having that experience? Yeah. And this morning, as I was coming down the stairs, I thought, I'd like my meditation to feel like that. Wouldn't you? To always feel like that. Sometimes when I'm meditating, it's so delicious that I just feel that I could sit forever. Which is why we're advised to take care of the body, because even when we want to sit and sit and sit, the body usually says, I'm done. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done. Because the body is speaking so loudly. But yes, I'm finding that the later rise of the sun and the cooler mornings, though I'm enjoying them because it was so hot in parts of this summer, it does make it difficult to get going to the cushion. So I've been reflecting upon practice and our perceptions of practice, and thinking about how it is coming to the cushion and with difficulty during the change of seasons. I was thinking, if we could shift our thought about practice to think, the teachers in all traditions say that the most difficult thing we can do is control the mind. Now we are always saying to ourselves, or beating ourselves up, or saying to ourselves, oh my goodness, I can't control this mind. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with me. All of the wise ones have told us the mind is the hardest thing to control. I shouldn't feel bad that it's difficult for me. I should say, oh yeah, they were right. I'll keep trying. It is possible to control. That we know. We've seen it in the saints and sages and some living today. So if I shift my consciousness and I shift my thoughts to witness that and say, I'm so glad I have these practices, because the mind is so difficult to control. The mind is so difficult to quiet. But I have these practices, and they make it possible. I'll keep using them, and it will get easier. Doesn't that feel better? I'm learning to be more gentle with myself, can you tell? Feels so much better to acknowledge what the mind does, what the challenges are. I mean, there are challenges in this day and age that, I don't know, we always think that times are hardest in the times that we live in. It's never been as hard as this, with all of the distractions we have that are making our practice difficult. But no, the one great challenge that has always existed is controlling our impulses and controlling our mind. Causes all the trouble. Every last bit of the trouble caused by that. So we are not one step, but thousands of steps ahead of the game by going straight to the source of sorrow. Yeah? So we can be very happy knowing that we have the tools to transform our minds, to transform our lives into a path of joy. Not just for us, but for the people around us, right? When we're more joyful, wow, the people around us are more joyful. Most of the time, unless they have deep-seated issues. You know, there's a thing called sympathetic joy, which is useful to have, which is when you're happy for someone else when they're happy. Not all of us can cultivate that. Sometimes it just pisses some people off that you're so happy. Have you witnessed that ever? You know, it's a challenge all the way around. But I was watching my teacher teach last night. She's offering a new course, a new reframing of the practices, I think, called Connect. And you know, she's a master teacher. She's amazing. And as she was speaking and talking about this path that you're on and how it transforms us, I was thinking, I am so grateful. I feel so blessed that I found this. And one of the things that she was saying was that in a day, more wonderful things happen than negative things, right? And this is true, and we focus on the negative things, which is why, you know, we have this, oh, poor me attitude sometimes. It's because the negative things are huge, but they're just a small part of what has gone on in our life and in our day. And if we take a moment to focus on all of the good things, or even just one good thing, it changes our perspective. So that's what I'm up to this morning in thinking about my practice and how I should always, always, always be thinking of it as, you know, an adventure in consciousness, you know, and acknowledge that the first thing that the teachings say is trying to control the mind is like, you know, trying to break a wild horse, really, you know. So know that's true and keep at it. And don't be surprised if it's difficult. Don't feel like you're failing if it's difficult. It's easier than it was, yes? Mm-hmm. And that'll continue. Excuse me? Now. I saw some heads go like this. Well, also remember that they also say that for a time it appears to be more difficult because you're seeing all that you must move through to get to the part where it's, you know, easier. So once you see it, sometimes the resistance is the challenge. Sometimes moving through is the challenge, you know, but still, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is. Believe me. I promise you. Anyway, so I'd love to hear from you. Share as you are led. I'd love to hear your wisdom.